Also, Complex has put out their 10 most influential women in sports. And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number one.
Caitlin Clark has done it again. Not only is she breaking records on the court, but she just scored another big win without even playing. Complex named her the most influential female athlete, proving she's the biggest name in sports right now. And guess what? She beat out Angel Reese, who isn't too happy.
It's been hard for me, but adjusting and just kind of have that mindset of just moving on has been something I try to give myself a little bit of grace.
Exactly. While Clark is out here winning awards, growing the game, and making history, Reese is busy making excuses, acting like this honor doesn't matter. But let's be real. If she had won, she'd never let us forget it. Instead of celebrating someone else's success, Reese is doing what she does best, downplaying Clark's achievements while spending more time on TikTok than in the gym.
Announcing the top 10 most influential athletes right now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark, check. Breaking records. Caitlin Clark, check. Proving their impact goes far beyond the game, from sold-out arenas to game-changing moves in business and fashion. These women are leading the way. If this is a top 10 list, then sitting on the top of that list, there's only one right answer. There's only one correct.
Let's get one thing straight. This isn't just about an award. It's about who the fans truly care about. One player has people tuning in for her jaw-dropping skills, while the other is mostly in the news for everything except basketball. Some call it a rivalry, but let's be real. It's not much of a competition when only one player is actually winning.
What's your stance on that?
So my whole thing was when I got drafted, number 7. So I'm cool. The pressure is not even on me because I'm drafted 7, so the pressure shouldn't be up there. So I'm all right, cool. I can just hoop. So I'm all right, cool.
It's because you started killing it.
Well, yeah.
And they're oh,
I'm still a rookie. I'm still figuring it out.
Let's break it all down. Why did Caitlin Clark win this award? What makes her influence so undeniable? And most importantly, why is Angel Reese acting like she got robbed? We're diving into the numbers, the impact, and the hilarious aftermath. And let's be real, Reese isn't going to like this because she just got beaten by Caitlin Clark for the top spot. Honestly, I find it hilarious. And I'll say this outright. There is absolutely no world where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either. There, I said it. Caitlin Clark didn't just break records, she shattered them. 62 records in a single season. Let that sink in. This isn't just about making history, it's about rewriting the entire record book. No player in WNBA history has dominated like this, and this is only year 1.
And Angel Reese is not going to like this because, well, she got beaten by Caitlin Clark for number 1. Yeah, so we're going to take a look at that. I think it's hilarious. I will tell you right off the bat, I don't believe there's a singular world, where Angel Reese should be ahead of Simone Biles either. There, I put that out loud.
But here's where it gets even crazier. Clark didn't just put up insane numbers. She completely changed the trajectory of an entire franchise. Before she arrived, the Indiana Fever were stuck at the bottom of the league, struggling for relevance. Then Caitlin Clark showed up, and boom, they made the playoffs for the first time in nearly a decade. That's not just individual greatness. That's team-changing dominance.
We've been putting women's basketball on her back for the better part of 3 years now. These athletes are reshaping culture. Caitlin Clark has men watching women's basketball.
And let's talk about off-the-court impact, because this is where Clark completely separates herself from her so-called rivals. WNBA merchandise sales skyrocketed by 500% in her rookie season. Yeah, you read that right, not a typo. The league's merch demand quintupled the moment she stepped on the court. Jerseys, t-shirts, memorabilia, all flying off the shelves at a rate the WNBA had never seen before. And you already know whose jerseys weren't selling out. Yep, Angel Reese's jerseys were just sitting there, collecting dust, while Clark's were gone in minutes.
She ran away with number one. I don't think that should surprise us. She came away with number one. Caitlin Clark is redefining the entire landscape of women's sports. That's right. Her dominance on the court has shattered outdated narratives about women's sports, proving that women's basketball can be just as marketable and widely watched as men's. But the Caitlin Clark effect goes far beyond her performance. It's reshaping the entire sports landscape. Clark's impact is undeniable. Her presence alone boosts the WNBA attendance by 105%.
Even sports economists are blown away by Clark's impact. Thayer Lavielle, one of the top names in sports business, called Clark a lightning rod for women's basketball, comparing her to Michael Jordan in terms of how she's elevating the game's visibility and value. And honestly, she's right.
Because when we went to the WNBA games and we went to go watch Caitlin Clark when they came to play the Washington Mystics in DC, and they shut that they had to move the game from the Washington Mystics WNBA arena to the actual Washington arena where the Wizards played, and it was packed. It was sold out for people to see Caitlin Clark. That did not happen the day before that when they went to Chicago to play Angel Reese.
But this isn't just about jersey sales. Clark's influence is changing the entire WNBA economy. Viewership is at an all-time high. Arenas that once struggled to sell tickets are now packed to capacity, but only when Clark is in town. Teams that used to beg people to show up are now scrambling to expand seating just to handle the demand. That's not just popularity, that's a movement.
I did with Michael Jordan. Now, she's not the Michael Jordan of her sport as far as athleticism, playing, dominating. But A'ja Wilson is the best player in the game. Not even a debate. But I'm talking about value now. Value to a franchise, value to a league, getting your team in the playoffs. They had the number one pick. They were the worst team last year. And there is value.
Even sports economists are blown away by Clark's impact. Though Laval, one of the top names in sports business, called Clark a lightning rod for women's basketball, comparing her to Michael Jordan and how she's elevating the game's visibility and value. And honestly, she's absolutely right.